Okay, so now we've gone through why we have it. We've gone through nutritional myths. We've gone through what it is. Now we're going to work on how it works. The number one question we get when people call in and ask about corporate wellness is, how does this work? Well, guess what? It is the fourth thing that you need to know. So what does that mean? The first three are the first steps. Once you learn the first three, now you're ready to understand how it works. So how does it work? Real simple, really. It really is simple. We have a form in the back office. It's under your resource library. It provides you a step-by-step guide of exactly how the program works. The first step, and the most important step, is you need to take and read your ID report. Step number one. Can't tell you how many times we have people that say, hey, I want to know how this ID Life corporate wellness thing works. Have you read your report? What report are you talking about? It's the one that you spent 15.9 seconds on trying to find out what the recommendations were and how much it cost. Take the time to read your report. Most importantly, take the time to actually implement a few of the things in your report so that you yourself can see the dynamic change it'll make in your life simply by making a small incremental change. After you take your report, now all of a sudden you're ready. You have everything that you need to start getting the information to the individual. You're going to introduce the concept. Now, how are you going to introduce the concept to the people that you know that are interested in corporate wellness? You know, it used to be that you had to give them all these various things. We're actually going to create a video, we're creating it today, that is going to give you a resource tool that said, hey, if you're interested in learning something about a company that focuses on the individual rather than the general, you should really watch this video because it's going to give you information. And if you want to learn more afterwards, be happy to talk to you. But see, this step-by-step guide is going to give you all the information that you need in order to get there. The most important thing that you can do, though, the most important thing you can do is you have to get them to take the assessment. Now, let me reiterate this because this is probably the most overlooked, under-talked about, and important issue that we have. Because when we get on the phone with somebody who has never taken the assessment, I'm going to tell you how the typical phone call goes. Hey, this is Mark Bennett, COO, General Counsel of ID Life, or Laura Brandt, or Scott Unkelbach, or whoever. And we're here to talk to you about the corporate wellness program. I'm assuming you've taken the assessment. No, what assessment? What are you talking about? Now remember, as part of the process in order to get us on the phone in the first place, the associates already said, yes, they've seen and taken the assessment. So now we're as surprised that they haven't seen it as they are about what this thing is about this assessment. Causes an awkward pause. Okay, well, we have this tool and we start a 10 to 15 minute explanation of what the assessment is. Now, everyone knows that the assessment is one of those wonderful tools that if you have it in front of you and you can walk through with somebody, it's powerful. You can literally see the power of it. But when you're talking conceptually out loud with nothing but words, can people visualize what it is you have in front of you? No. And the reason why they can't visualize it is what? It has never existed before. It's not something anyone else has. So what ends up happening is the conversation ends like this. Well, when you have a chance to take the assessment, call us back and we'll have another call as a follow-up. How many times do you think we get a call back? Doesn't happen very often. Occasionally, but not very often. I know people want us to get on the phone with people because they think, hey, if I can just get corporate on the phone, then I know they can close the deal because they're really good at this thing. We're good, we're just not miracle workers. Because people will not buy what they don't know. People will not invest in something that they have never seen. People can't believe in something that they haven't touched. You see how this works? If you have somebody who's actually taken the assessment, now all of a sudden you have a different conversation. Hey, I'm assuming you've seen and taken the assessment. Yes. Okay, did you take some time to look at that report? Well, yeah, I saw that. You see how the conversation changed? Because now instead of me talking to them about what it is we do, what are we doing? We're answering questions that they have about the experience that they had. Because the next thing that I ask every single time, and we have all of our team that asks the same thing, is this. When you took that assessment, how does that fit into what you're doing currently? Tell me a little bit more about what it is you're doing right now. Sometimes it's, we're not doing anything. Sometimes it's, well, this is different because it gave me information about myself. Well, that's really what makes us different. See how the conversation changes from a let me explain to you or let me talk at you to let me listen to you and respond to what is important to you. See how the relationship changes? See how this works? Everybody getting this? This is different, but it's understandable if you get it. Now, the next step is after they've taken the assessment, you're going to send them the webinar. The webinar is the video that we're going to create. It's going to have the slides. It's going to have the video presentation that we're about to do right here. It'll be me talking to them by way of video. You will not have to be a corporate wellness expert. You have to have a basic understanding and a basic knowledge, but you don't have to understand everything there is to know about corporate wellness. That's our job. You do, though, have to be part of the relationship. We've established that in the earlier module because you are still the champion. Everyone understand? That's part of the thing. Once they've seen that video, they're going to make a determination. Do I want to move forward? Am I interested in what this company has to offer? Do I want more information? If they do, great. Don't forget, you also send them the HR manual at the same time. And you also send them the example of the employee guide. All of this is in your back office. So what you tell them is, hey, I'm going to send you a video that's going to last 10 to 15 minutes. We'll know here in a minute how long it's actually going to last. By the time we produce this video, they can do what they want to and tell them exactly how long it took me. If I say 10 to 15, that probably means 20 to 30, but we're going to try to make it shorter. You also send them the HR manual and the employee guide. Why are you sending them those? Say, hey, I'm also going to send you a couple other resources that we provide to everybody. Each one's unique. Each one's individualized. This is just an example of what it is our company does. You know why we give them that at the same time? No other company individualizes their information. Every other company has a set stack of stuff, and they say, here it is. You know what the typical corporate wellness implementation looks like? Benefits guy comes in to explain medical, dental, vision. Oh yeah, you also have a corporate wellness program. Stack of paper about that thick. And what happens to that stack of paper? Goes into a desk drawer. Next year on renewal, they pull that out. How much does it cost this year versus last year? Okay, it goes back into the trash can. The next one goes into the desk drawer. I just explained what I did for 20 years. For 20 years. What's interesting, though, is my last couple of years when I was in law, you really can't make this stuff up. I basically tried to be on our corporate wellness team, and they told me I didn't know enough about corporate wellness to be on the team. Thank you, Strasburger and Price. And now it's infamous because it's out on the video forever. Great guys, just, it is what it is. It's one of those situations where an HR professional just wants the information. They want to see what makes you different. If they understand that you have something different that no other company offers, they want to learn more. When they want to learn more, that's when you have the information that you need to start the conversation with us about getting one of us on the phone with them. Now, step 5 is giving you exactly the detailed information that you need to provide to corporate so that we can set up that next call. That information does not mean to text somebody at corporate. It does not mean to email specifically somebody at corporate. This tells you exactly the steps to follow. Why do we do this? If you text me, email me, and you're trying to get something in that's really quick and it really is fast, guess what? We're probably getting 800-900 emails a day. Chances of me getting to it quickly are not very good. If you text or email Daryl or Scott or Logan or any of the rest of us, because we're going to get to it as fast as we can, but it may not happen as fast as as fast as you need. You may have somebody who wants information right now. The great news is if you follow this program and you actually get the advocates on the line and get them the information, the advocates can identify very quickly somebody who's available that can get the person the information that they need. See how that works? It's really simple if we just follow that program. I mean, we have an advocate dedicated to corporate wellness now. That's all she does. All she does is corporate wellness. That's it. Every day, every single day, she's becoming an expert in it very fast. Drinking from a fire hose, but she's getting there. We're going to get her there quick. And the whole idea behind that is she knows what the resources are. She knows where people are. She knows what information is available. A lot of times she can provide exactly what you need a lot faster than we can. And if you provide that information, and it's really simple, it's set out in there, it tells you exactly the detailed information to send in that email, boom, you have it. If you need to call an advocate, they can transfer the call and you can have the same result. But that's the best way to get this set up. Stage 6 is simple. We're going to have a three-way call. You will be on this call. Plan on being on this call. We want you to be on the call. Why do we want you to be on the call? It's real simple. There may be things that require additional work on your part. They may want more things that you need to do on a local basis. Now, when you finally have somebody who wants to have a call, your general reaction is going to be something like this. That's going to be your reaction. Let's remember what the purpose of the call is. You are going to edify the person from corporate that is on the call. And after you've edified the person from corporate, corporate is then going to take over the call. You then find that little thing on your phone called the mute button and stop talking. If you continue to talk, this is what's going on in our head. Yes, we have killed you 10 times. And if the phone gets disconnected, no, it did not get disconnected. We hung up. Let us do what it is we do. There's a reason why you got us on the phone. Even if we say something that is not something you necessarily agree with, you know what? Let's have the conversation after the conversation. Because ultimately what we do is this. We are customizing the phone call to the company as the conversation is going on. I'm sure what you have to say is very important. Either do it before or after the call. Because we do not have a single corporate wellness program. We have over 100 of them now. We do not have a single corporate wellness program that is the same. Each one is a little bit different. Each one is a little unique. And why is that? Remember, we don't tell companies what they need to know. We listen to companies tell us what it is they want. Get that? That's how it works. That's what makes it different. Then we have a process that happens after that phone call. It is going to take some time. It's going to be slow. It's going to be tedious. But ultimately, the reason why we're doing this is so that we make sure that we get it right. There's contract negotiation, there's implementation, scheduling, and promotion. There's also setting up the different groups. All of that takes time, especially if they have an internal legal counsel. It takes a long time. By the way, if you're ever going to introduce myself on the phone, don't say lawyer, don't say general counsel, just say COO. Trust me, it works a lot better. You know, because as soon as you hear the word lawyer, most people think this. You know, I used to tell Logan, you know, introduce me as a persuasive communicator. It works a lot better. Okay, so that's kind of the process. Now, here's another example of how we add value. Because see, corporate wellness is part of what we do, but we have a lot of relationships out there with other individuals and other groups that you may not even be aware of. Because one of the other things that we do is we actually do a benefits review with their team, with the company. That benefits review, we go in and say, okay, did you know that you're already paying for biometric screening every year? Most companies that have never done a biometric screening, most of them paid for it as part of the insurance program that they already have in place. And they didn't even know that they had it, and all they had to do was ask for it. Or they have something called telemedicine. They don't even know what it is, no one explained it to them. They're paying $24 a month for it for every employee, and they don't even understand how it can save them money. See, we went out and created a relationship with a company because we knew that the number one avoidable healthcare cost in this country is urgent care claims. You want to go to a Care Now, you want to go to an emergency room. The average cost to you is anywhere from $100 to $300. The average cost to your employer is $800 to $1,000. The emergency room is going to cost you anywhere from $500 to $1,000. It's going to cost your employer north of $3,500. Remember self-insured? Remember they're the ones paying the bill? Did you know 80% of urgent care visits are avoidable? They're because somebody has the flu. Somebody has a severe sinus infection. A kiddo got sick at 5:20 on a Friday, and you got to go on vacation on Monday. Sound familiar? What's worse is the one where you have 3 kids at home, husband out of town, it's 6 o'clock at night, and now you have to pack everybody up and go sit in a Care Now facility for 3 hours, hoping that you don't get the other sick by sitting next to a bunch of sick people. But what if a world existed where you could pick up the phone in that situation, talk to a doctor within 45 minutes, prescription is called into the CVS, you go down there, pick it up, you're back home in less than 20 minutes, and now an hour later, your kiddo, yourself, or your husband, or your spouse, or whoever it is already getting the benefit that they need to actually start getting well. See how that works? You know, we implemented this program into another company, and when we did, what we found was we reduced their urgent care claims by 80%. Now think about that for a second. Remember the economic impact that I told you. If it's costing them for a Care Now visit somewhere between $800 and $1,000, for an emergency room $3,500 plus, every time we have somebody who picks up the phone rather than goes to the emergency room, we save the company $3,500 simply by introducing them to a concept that they already paid for. Or better yet, because we did a deal with MeMD, that MeMD relationship literally allows us to offer it to a company that doesn't have it at a rate that is lower than most other companies get charged. See, because we even have our own IDLife telemedicine for our associates. We actually created this for our associates so that associates could get the benefit of it. You know, I used to just talk about this. Last Friday night, about 5:05 p.m., I got bronchitis. It was bad. It was real bad. What was interesting is I was actually supposed to speak the next day at the American Heart Association Heart Ball on Saturday. I went to my doctor. I was 5 minutes late. He says, "I'm sorry, but I can't see you." I arrived at 5:05. I was supposed to be there at 5 because they were already booked and they couldn't fit me in. Not my doctor anymore. But that's a different story. Life happens. But what ended up happening is I was in a pinch because the next time I could see the doctor was 3 o'clock on Monday. Now, I knew, based upon other people that were in our office, by the time Monday rolled around, most people had already had walking pneumonia, and all kinds of other things because they, basically were trying to let the body take care of itself. Wasn't going to work. So I had a choice. Care Now, emergency room. Oh, what about that MeMD thing that we have? I called in 45 minutes. I had my prescription. I was feeling better the next day. Still couldn't talk on Saturday because it got worse. But by Monday, when I was in the Northeast, starting my Northeast tour last week, guess what? I did every single one of those programs. Had I not had MeMD, guess what? I was not going to be showing up on Monday. In fact, that whole tour would have been canceled because I would not have been able to talk. This is the power. Guess what it cost us? If you're an associate of IDLife, $9.95 a month for your entire family. Use it as much as you need to. $120 a year. I don't know what your insurance costs, but I bet you it's a lot more than $120. That's the convenience thing. Those are the kind of benefits that we add to companies as part of what this is. So that's this section. That's how it works. Like I said, how it works is very simple. Once you get past the why, you get past the nutritional counseling, and you get past the how. I mean, the what. The how is easy. Everybody get that? Everybody understand that part?